Hello. Good morning. It is time for another comic work stream. And I'm just gonna jump right to it. There are no secrets here. I have a comic page to do some inks on. I've already started, did some work on it yesterday. And I got lots of rats to be drawing. Hope is that I'll finish inking this page during today. Now, I know these are just layouts, but some of these ended up being quite thoroughly sketched, not only as layout. So I might actually be able to use them as they are, if I feel brave enough, of course. Now, I've started sketching out these guys here, but I think just to begin, I'm just gonna pick something on here to get started on. Also, I haven't really warmed up today, so we'll see how it goes. Usually warm-ups are good to do. I never find myself in the right mindset for doing proper warm-ups. Or I'm probably doing it wrong. As in, warm-ups are meant to get your muscles started and probably to get your mind in the right space. But I gotta be doing those warm-ups wrong because I always end up doing them very slowly, like expecting to make a finished image as a warm-up, which is totally wrong. It only takes up time, really. Now I'm doing things that might not be quite correct. Or, well, sure, the bowl can be on the same layer as the characters, no problem. I can also not get this bowl to work. Oh, I would have had this problem yesterday, probably. But it's a shared problem. It's the sketch is kind of slanted, and my wrist just hates ovals, flat ovals. These guys don't even have plates; they have just wooden bowls or something. The last few days, I've been feeling the stabilization hasn't really been my friend. More often, I find myself turning it off. And of course, you can see it turns back on regularly because I tend to temporarily change to eraser. And since my inking tool is locked, it means that any changes I do to the settings here will just revert back to the original after use, which can be convenient, but I am reconsidering what I would like the default to be. Stabilization is kind of silly to have, especially if you're trying to draw things like rowdy nature, leaves, and squiggly stuff that's intended to look a bit random. I want another window of this so I can see an overview of what I'm doing. I'll keep it there. Good. I would also like to have my character reference, though I don't need the whole lineup. I just need the one I'm drawing with some people on the side. There we go. I don't really want these controls here, but I'm not that good with the quick controls for this. I like to have the arrows around so I can flip between different references. Right, this guy, he's kind of buff, but only kinda. He's a weird kind of buff. He's not big. He's a bit amused, tiny bit annoyed. Like, nobody likes this kid. He's just around and making noise and being a little smartass. Like, nobody likes that kid. Except for the other kid, who really likes that there is another kid. Now, I also gotta remember something that I am terrible at remembering, which is that these are very small drawings. They only need to be finished, they don't have to be good. Or they don't have to be perfect. This guy's lost a chomp of his ear. And the other one. It's always funny with the eye patches. Like they're often. I don't really know which one of these characters wear eye patches to see better in the dark, or who of them who actually lack an eye. It's nothing I considered. Well, some characters have shown have just their eye underneath, so it's to see better, but otherwise, the other guys, I don't know, man. Try not to care too much about those lines. I don't need any sort of detailing here, I think. My soul wants to, but it's not necessary. Okay, we kind of lacked a table here. Should I... Yeah, I should add some background. It's not that hard. I'll just do that. These are the kinds of lines where a screen tablet would be nice, but screen tablets come with so many other disadvantages that I'm happy. Could of course also straighten my tablet. That would be nice. Helpful even. Okay, there we go. We've got a table line. And for the next part, just making a selection there to keep it contained. Why is there a line there? I need... Follow that one. That's way better. There. Now, this so-called BG sketch is not doing anything. So I'll just hide it. And so temporary ink gets transferred. That's a weird one. It doesn't want to transfer down unless they have the same opacity. I do find that a bit odd. And slightly annoying. You can use that as a sort of blocker, I guess. Oh. So the way I work here is that I always ink on the same layer, like a single layer, and as I'm like happy enough with a part, I'll just transfer down onto the layer that's supposed to hold the stuff, like character layer. Look at this smart ass. I'm doing it bad. It always turns out janky if I do the cheeks afterwards. Especially on paper. Yeah, he doesn't look too smooth, but it's fine. He's just a little kid. See now lines are not as hard. It depends on the character, I think. Like how difficult are they? How weird shapes do they consist of? The last few days I've seen a few videos about not exactly motivational advice. But so one video talking about well, I saw two videos and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to mention. One about advice, receiving advice, which has me thinking about how much advice would I bother to give. Because the point of that video, or the talk there, was that it was just a 5-minute video. It was about advice that you get, work regimes you get to follow, like anything to boost your productivity, all those sorts of tips. They might work for a while, but then they run out. They sort of wear out after a while and become ineffective. And I've felt that quite a lot throughout the years. I've felt that there's always, like, every day I wake up and there's a puzzle to how will I have to get myself started with productivity. What's today's solution to the puzzle? How do I get started? And I have been noticing that this puzzle is ever changing, or the solution is ever changing. For a while it might be that, don't speak to anyone until way later in the day. Don't check your phone is always a healthy one. Sometimes it's both fine and fun to be a little weak. But for the most part, it's best to, don't look at the phone, just get started. I've been through quite a few work techniques for not self-sufficient, but working for oneself. And they all usually worked for a good while. Some worked for months, but that was during quite intense work circumstances where I would have a deadline and I was like, oh, smash, I gotta get going. I gotta do this much every day, and this much is coincidentally quite a lot. Thing is, while I could perform those things, I could perform for 2 months with a quite intense regimen. But afterwards, I would have no power whatsoever of will or anything to continue or to do anything. I mean, with a huge deadline, my work would tend to be rushed. For children's books, that meant that I would hate my work. And if I'd been working for 2 months intensely, and I ended up hating my work, I ended up punishing myself for having worked that hard, which isn't very fun. So, feels quite natural that my motivation kind of seeped out. Because I would hate everything I did and I would work very hard to make it done. However, right now I'm having a blast. I hope I'm not speaking too soon in just mentioning that I think the finding back to the enjoyment of drawing is working. Can't believe that it's been quite a few years where I've been struggling with, like, why do I even bother drawing? I always like the core reason for me to keep going isn't even a good reason. It's just that, well, drawing is one thing I'm good at. Would be a shame for it to go to waste. Would be a shame to just quit. It doesn't add more value to it, really. It's just, oh well, it's the one thing I'm good at. Might as well. I do notice that, or recently I have noticed, that if there's one thing I'm particularly bad at, it is talking about stuff in the right order. Or rather, I've been noticing that some people are really good at this. Especially people doing, motivational speeches, pep talks, or just present something. Many people are already good at beginning to present whatever they're going to say. They introduce it in a way that kind of conditions the listener to, well, expect something. And what I notice is that somehow, usually, that lets the person express themselves or tell something unconventional or whatever without there being much drama about it. Not drama necessarily, but issues or protests. Or what I usually have trouble with is that mostly many people will not let me finish speaking. They'll assume that they know what I'm trying to say before I finish or get to the point, and they'll interrupt me. And I cannot for the life of me figure out how to present anything in a way that makes people actually listen. I tend to get stressed, and like try to speak quickly, but if I speak quickly, I end up formatting it as a tweet, meaning that the statement becomes too short and lacks nuance to the degree that that too might upset people. I'm just rambling at this point. But it's something I noticed that some people are very good at, and I wish I was. But like most things, you can probably practice that. Another video I saw was just a brief talk about talent. And this guy was trying to make a point that yes, talent exists, but you shouldn't stop if you lack talent. Talent is just a boost. It's just a thing. Oops. One can say you don't need a talent for reading, right? You can have a talent for reading. You can be a quick reader. And one perhaps could say that a severe lack for talent in reading would perhaps be dyslexia or some other condition where it like brain goes brrr and it's just rough to manage. There are lots of people who write stuff anyway, even if they suffer from it. And likewise with drawing, like you don't have to be good or have a good eye to begin with. There's always the skill you can build up. I think I have no talent for reading. I'm quite a slow reader. But back in my uni days, I was reading for some exam, and I felt like I had to learn to read quickly. So I did, like, try to speed read a bit, and while it was fun to manage that, like, I did notice how one can absorb some information from just glossing over a page, basically, and just whoosh through. Do not read things aloud in your mind. But most of it, I found it to be mostly exhausting. Like it takes some concentration and energy and focus, not to mention, to get through stuff in that manner. So it's more like an exercise, or it is like doing exercise more than anything else. And so, however, what people got from that video was that if you don't have talent, you might as well quit. It's like, but no, that's the opposite of what he meant. Oh my god. But there is often too much focus about this having to be good kind of thing. While, I mean, of course, if you want to make something that you are going to sell and everything, it has to be good. You can build skill for that. It will be hard, especially hard if like one lacks critical information. No, if one lacks the eyes, or maybe especially intuition or taste. But makes it harder. But if one really is interested in doing stuff or is putting in the effort and work to build up that skill, you don't need talent. To mention name that I think of when I speak about people who lack talent, like you have great names out there who really lacked talent, but they still amounted to something great. And maybe I always think that I come up with controversial ideas, so please don't hold it against me. I mean, I'm also one who don't necessarily like all Ghibli movies for being Ghibli movies. They just get too much praise. But talentless people, no, that sounds terrible. Person I want to mention is Richard Williams, who made the Animator Survival Kit, who basically, in his chapters of lessons about animation, is basically making a documentary about his journey from when he's learning animation. And he's sharing words from the great animators, the good old legends, and he's just telling of stuff that made him think about other things. And I can see, like, especially, I mean, he seemed like this super guy. I never met him, but like, the book is amazing. I've never liked how the survival kit is treated as a Bible, but I would say while this guy had really the tools to gain a lot of skill, and he sure did, he didn't really have a good intuition or knack for, let's say, oh my goodness, words are hard, but like, he had to learn mechanically every trick, which is why the book becomes way better at, you know, teaching this stuff, because he had to learn it thoroughly to understand it, and he had to teach it further from people who didn't really, they were not quite able to express or explain what they were doing, because they had some talent or intuition to support themselves with to do the work. Totally Not says on YouTube, hello! Welcome to my rambling. I'm talking about talent. But I was saying, I'm rambling about Richard Williams. And Starry Moon, hello! People on YouTube, is it late? Is it a evening entertainment? Because it is almost 9 AM in my area. But problem about people being sensitive, or people feel bad for not being able to produce as amazing things as other people, because they keep comparing. You like my art? Thank you! It makes me glad. Now, I'm rambling too long here. I should probably just stop, because I'm not getting to a point. Just talking to myself, processing videos I've been watching. but people shouldn't feel bad if they're not great at something, especially when it's about art. Depends what they want with it, of course, but it's not easy money. Though, if you learn to draw, you can get free art. Alright, we confirmed those. I have not a... I don't have an effects layer. I gotta... Let's see. I duplicate this, make it some smashing color. There. Call it FX. Delete everything on it. And now I can draw stuff on my here. And apply that. Good. We got... Oh, there's some effects here too. Some movement lines. What am I making? I am making a comic. So right now I'm inking. We have this comic page here. We're at a ship. A pirate ship. And the pirates are talking over lunch, I guess. It's very silly too. We got these kids in the back who are helping out with serving, while what's reasonable to do is that these pirate guys, they stand in line and get themselves a bowl and walk to their places. But no, I just want to include the kids by making them do work. Yeah, this is a comic of mine, comic project, long overdue. And I got some finished pages, but I got lots of work still. Got about 100 pages to make. But it's fun. It's great. It's been many years where I've been struggling to work with this, and it is finally loosening up a bit, which is good. Creative stuff is sometimes a struggle, and sometimes life gets in the way. And so that's even more reason to not beat oneself up when it is way too hard to work with something. But yeah, for my part, I kind of needed a publisher that was interested in my book. This is the second book, by the way. I had my first book published by one publisher. A few years later, I kind of ended up in a rut. Kind of bad one, with burnout and everything. And a few years later, I spoke to the publisher who who did the first book, and they were not interested. So I've been in this limbo where I've been sort of needing an editor to just look at my stuff and tell me, is the story okay or what? Which I didn't get until like late last year. We're getting going, and now I finally feel motivated. So that's great. And I love making characters, not making characters. I love drawing characters. Designing them is tiresome. But I got a whole crew lined up here. I love the possum. Reason he's there. These are the pirates. And there's no good reason for him to be there, because he's not a rodent. But in Norwegian, possum is known as a pouch rat. So that's a lingual one that I wonder if this ever gets translated from Norwegian and published out in the open world of English or other countries. I wonder how well that'll sit. We'll see, but I love him. He's a charmer. He's a good guy. Thank you. I'm glad you like the characters. It's fun thing when you have a design is that you can just draw them around and have them do things. I cannot design and make a character act at the same time. I gotta draw the design first and then I move them around. Now, I also struggled for years with like, oh, it has to be perfect. But what's good about the previous book that got published is that I can look at it and be like, yeah, I can see some shortcomings, some goofs, some spoofs, and be like, you know, if this book doesn't get perfect, I think that's fine, yo. Looks very hard to make. Yeah. It can be, but mostly, I mean, making something doesn't need to be hard. It's the not getting in one's own way that is the worst, really. What is happening? I will accept this hand as I don't know and move on. See, that's good practice. And good thing with me just being able to settle a line is that I can draw it through, keep the energy, and not be afraid of having to erase stuff around, like carefully. Oh, that's a tangent. Oh no. There's a belt buckle here. Gotta. I keep this tiny image up here, zoomed out, to check that whatever I'm doing down here actually is visible. Otherwise, I'll end up nitty-gritting on things that will not be visible for anyone. Do I know Cat's Eye? I do not. Who or what is Cat's Eye? Now I really hope that my ramble about Richard Williams being lacking talent. I hope that landed somewhere not too catastrophic. I mean, he is proof that you don't need talent. You can just really like a medium and be very invested and learn lots of things and make cool things about it. Oh yes, one point I was going to make about that was he was told that he didn't draw well enough. He was like, oh, but you gotta learn to draw. So he went to art school. And boy, did that art school mess him up. Like, he got just sucked into the enthusiasm or interest for all that abstract stuff that it looks completely bonkers. And I think he missed a point in when he was being told to learn to draw. Which is fascinating and kind of amazing. And oh boy, did that guy have ambition. But if you see, what was it? The Who and the Cobbler? Thief and the Cobbler. That one is just full of this abstract shape stuff, which it is so artsy, so crazy. It's not good. It's kind of proof of what one gets if allowing someone with high ambition and possibly low taste. I'm not sure. I'll be careful with that one. But allowing someone to just fly freely. I don't know enough about that project though. I don't know enough about the production. I just know it took too long and it was his huge project, and they told him this is taking too long, stop, because he was doing upright straight up 3D rendering by hand on a gigantic animation sheet or something. But Richard Williams gave us the Animator Survival Kit, which was my favorite book for many years because it is so good at telling the story of learning to draw animation. In that it is funny. He has examples from life where it's like, oh, but this guy, he wanted to draw oval eyes, but he was told to draw round eyes, but he drew oval eyes. So all this in between went wobble, wobble, wobble. Like, that is a good example, man. It's great. A girl group. Do they do things? Do Cat's Eye the girl group do things? What am I doing? This is dumb. The belts are not hitting where they should be. Alright, I gotta apply that. And make sure the belt sort of kind of hits down there. Now, am I streaming or am I yapping? However, it was good to find a video that was like, oh yeah, the struggle about like finding out what motivates you. That's completely normal. It's a struggle everyone has. You just gotta keep finding ways to move on and be motivated. Tall when you're young and short when you're old. What are you? I don't have an appropriate answer to that. Tell me, what's the answer? Local Zen. Thank you. Glad you like my drawings. It's very nice. I'm surprised. Is YouTube better? That like I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch, and is YouTube just better at showing off random streams to people? I guess browsing is more common on YouTube than on Twitch, but I tend to get new people more often on YouTube. Oh, this guy he doesn't have his top. I remember seeing, I think it was a tutorial video from Aaron Blaze, animator person, Brother Bear director, and he was talking about, he was giving some character a wife beater ... shirt. He had to specify that it's a shirt. Once he realized that, yes, wife beater. Doesn't sound too good. A candle is the answer. I see. I'm having pedantic thoughts about that one now. I mean, my old candles are all the same height. Ignore my vowels. Thank you, Zen. Glad you like my character. Is his... Yeah, his pet creature is... Surely, it's just there. It's fine. Oh, we got another guy. Do I bother? We also gotta finish up whatever's going on here. Gecko. This guy has a bit more. I would like to have a mouth I could color pick from all over the page. You don't even know how many times when I do flats I'm like, what's the mouth color? Sigh. Oh, dear. Gotta lighthouse this. There we go. Okay, he's got the weird thing going on with his shirt being half t-shirt and half whatever this is. I also don't like something off here. I haven't sketched this thoroughly, so oh, too much. There we go. The only thing I gotta go back for between layers is when I want to erase something. Otherwise, I made it impossible for me to actually draw on top of these ink layers. Mainly because I want to make sure that I am drawing on the right layer. Because having inks on separate layers is useful for certain parts of my workflow later. And for telling stuff apart. Okay, this is just his arm. Does he have this? No. We don't know what he's doing. We can't see him. Nobody knows. It is fine. Okay, but this guy here, barely visible, he's the way in the back. Oh, there we go. That's a guy. I do have... Yes, here's the background. Okay. Anything... Okay, no stragglers there. I just gotta make sure that I've applied or transferred down any inks I did before targeting a new layer to draw stuff on. Now, here the balloons are going to overlap the character very much, so what I tend to do is half-assing everything that is hidden and regret it the moment I have to actually move the balloon. But we hope that I don't have to. But yeah, I'm not taking this guy very seriously. But he's big. He's a big guy. Does he? He has a split in his ear too. Why do these guys do that? Okay, he is humongous. Maybe he shouldn't be that big. He's big, but he's not big-headed big. He's just big. There we go. Okay. That's better. That's not where you got that dip. You know, on the neck you got this. This V that most kids learning to draw anime faces and everything, they draw like you got the chin, and then it's the neck, then there's like a V, and like this. They really go hard on this one. What do you call it? Is this a clavicle? This bone. Those things. This is that is the most anorectic thing when I see it. Like it really gets across the skinny girls vibe. Poor people. I remember the humans in Hamtaro used to really have those. Or, well, they are just pure anorexia. Really. Okay. huge belly? Do we want that? Do we really want that? These kids don't mind, but whatever. We got him. We got a huge belly. And he's in the background, so it's fine. And I gotta... There we go. Like so. Now, you might notice that you have some overlap going on, so I do my non-destructive workflow here and just mask away everywhere where my characters are overlapping. Or any other stuff. Like this hand. Like so. Oh. The bird has turned on the timer. Alright. How does this work? Seems good to me. I'm sort of missing a hatching layer where I can add some details. I usually add a layer for detailing that doesn't compete with my colors whenever I'm going to do flats. Because there is nothing more annoying in the world than having to needle grit flats on top of very complicated inks that don't have to be there. Skravering. There we go. We put that on the bottom. Now I mark it in orange here to indicate that I should be turning that off whenever I do colors, just to find it easily. Now I want some stuff going on here. It's kind of dark in this room. Could have some shadows going on. Some noise here on the artwork just to make it a bit more interesting. I see stuff in the old book that shows quite clearly empty space or lack of detail. Like I didn't go as hard out on detailing or knit and grit on that. On the backgrounds. And some places it's very noticeable. It's incredible what inks, like how much inks benefit from having various amounts of noise going on. Especially like here, like you want to understand that this is wood behind them. Maybe I'll even do some shading here. It's not important. I'll do that. And we want a mask. Now, to make this easy, no, I don't want to delete any of the hatching going on there. Like so. But I think for simplicity and to avoid any headaches when I want to make more details, I'll just apply this mask. Good. Well, that's a paddle. We got it. We got it, fellas. Now we have another one. I'm basically still procrastinating a few things. Like for the characters behind here, I gotta we'll have to re-sketch a few things. But maybe first we'll do the characters here in the back. Then I feel like I will have to do this. And we turn down the background a little. Actually, I keep turning that down. I should just make it less visible. There we go. Okay. This guy. Shinshu. Shinshu. That's his name. So you got Shinshag. These things. Oh, maybe I should see what I'm doing. Cool. It feels quite ambitious to be drawing a comic with as many characters going on. If I had a proper production line, it could probably be more efficient. But actually, I've been borrowing some characters. For the first book, I asked freely, openly, like among friends, that, hey, do you guys want to design some rats for me? Rats and cats. Because we don't only have pirates, we got pike cats too. But they're not here in this room with us. So, I guess all these characters on screen are still mine. These two are made by a cool guy named Torkel. We get this guy made by my good friend Art. This is also based on one of Torkel's designs. So I got a whole range. Most of these are mine. They made mostly cats, actually. But I got some rats too. Which is good vibes. I really like the rats. So in regards to motivation, it feels almost like it's no reason to be doing it. Like, I've found no explicit motivation. Oh, wait, yes. Yes, I do. I know what it is. So for making this comic, in Norway at least, you got a bunch of grants you can apply for doing projects of various sorts within culture or literature, whatever, lots of stuff. And I did apply for that kind of money over a couple of years, which I did get. So since I'm sitting on those money, I have to sort of make use of them in a rational way. For the longest time, I tried to make use of those money in paying myself for hours. And sadly, hours do not guarantee progress. So, I mean, it's taken me forever to figure this out because, I mean, I don't have anyone to talk to. But finally, late in last year, I figured out, okay, if I don't want my money to just seep out and not get anywhere with it, I will have to start paying myself by the page. And boy, did that work. Okay, I'm gonna make another layer here that is called char back. And we're gonna make it a color that is, oh, I don't know, purple. Delete. Now let's target. We have Scarp. Let's see. It's weird looking back on the old book where I find that interiors, exteriors, like areas look very empty. They didn't feel empty when I was drawing them. But I think More once more. It felt like lots of work to be drawing those things, and looking back at it, looks like I didn't do enough work. It's weird. It's weird growing up. I gotta remember to have a whiskers layer. Tormelon, hello! Good morning! Welcome, first time chatter. How are you today? Welcome to my rambling art stream where I ramble, call great people talentless, and ink some rats. I wonder who else one could look at and be like, know that, alright, this is someone with high skill who didn't have much talent to work with. I wonder. But I wonder if a lot of people who do, like, they build up mechanical drawing skills, in that they learn to use boxes and perspective for drawing, like a lot of primitives and everything, especially rigid stuff. Might be those have a higher density of low talent people who are still good at their craft. Oh, that's Scarp. This thing here isn't even fully sketched. What did I do? Oh, I left problems for future me. And tricorn hats? Are you for real? From an angle I do not draw on the regular. What even is a hat? It's just a lump. Potatoes. I don't know how to deal. Now would be a good time to have that 3D model I keep speaking of. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Donald artists. Like my thoughts, I am wondering that I'm still on the topic of talent. I wonder if Don Rosa is, because he has quite the mechanical swing to his art, and he does tend to say that he's not really good at drawing. And I mean, he draws quite amazing stuff. His ducks are strikingly squarish, but I'm not sure if that qualifies as lack of talent. I don't know. I don't know enough about him and his journey, his art journey. But we all have our journeys. The cool thing about, how to put it, the other motivational about that, you can study and follow as much as advice as you want, but you will you'll get tired of the training study regimen. You'll get tired of the advice or following the advice, like that one. I think that one's gonna stick with me just for a while till I forget, and I'm back on the rut, back in the rut, back on my bullshit. Stashy boy. His head is too big. Scale that down. Like, if I want someone to look big, they can't have a big head. If they have a big head, they just look normal sized, but at the wrong scale. I suppose that about talking about controversial opinions and everything, if I have happened to say anything that resonates wrong, I apologize and admit that I suck at presenting words in a digestible manner. I think that's the way to go. Like, really, I would love the skill to talk and present in ways that are not only convincing but also don't seem too harsh. But I feel like harsh might be part of my personality, so it can, of course, like all things, it can be worked with. But ooh, that looks like a tough job. And I've been appreciating some levels of harshness in my life. So it's not like harshness isn't for everyone. But there's always the risk of too harsh. But as long as nobody gets offended on behalf of anyone else, I'll be happy. We're waking up. I've been slow to check chat, sorry. Time is not going very fast right now. I mean, I'm yapping. I'm drawing. Oh, about the struggle, about progressing on projects, things that I probably haven't spoken properly of right now, but it's a very clear context to me. Seeing myself just ink away at this thing is honestly, unironically, quite unreal, because it is probably not visible to anyone else, but I would often, like, I've been struggling with motivations for years, or yeah, just the will to work on stuff has been really struggling for the longest time. I am coming back from it, which feels awesome. And now I gotta try not to lose where I was going. Yes, so I would have days where I got up and I sat down and I would try to, honestly, I would try to work, but I would be distracted right off the bat. And I would struggle to do much at all. And I would probably manage to draw and ink a single character and call it a day. Here I am now, for no particular reason. I've inked 5 characters, 6, 7, 8. These guys are supposed to look in a map. Where is it? Here we go. Totally a map. Oh, right. Okay, those colors are very much alike. I gotta fix that. There you go. I'm not sure if that's better. Yeah. Do not be fooled by seeing me blasting away with this ink work right now, because this is not normal. This is not how I usually go. Usually, most of the time, it is a hassle. Let's see. Should I hide some background stuff right away? Yes, I should. There we go. Hiding the important parts, and characters too should have like so. This is purely cosmetic, I think. But also slightly helpful for things later. Oh yes, and we got the top part here as well. Okay, for once, seeing these masking areas is a bit useful. Cool, we got him. Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm looking for a thing. I'm looking for a thing that is awfully high up. What's that about? Oh, it doesn't. I found the thing, but it doesn't work. Yep. All right, back to my stuff. Oh, it is snowing. Cool. That's why it feels so dark. All right, now we got the guys. Now we gotta look back to some sketches here. I gotta fix this dilemma here, where I got the little boy. He's partially hidden. But I can just kind of trace his basics or sketch out the main stuff before just moving him over. The solution here in the scene, it's just so inefficient. But hey, maybe they have like family values or something. I have a fighting pigeon. It is fighting me. Honk honk. Yes, Pidge. You're the king. You also suck at grabbing seeds. Alright, we're having a fighting intermission. I'm getting my hand kicked. Big time. Ow. We're doing enrichment. It's fun. If only everyone could see what I'm seeing. This is wonderful. Ow. Oh, that's a pointy beak. Ow. Goodness. Yes, okay. You're the king. I get it. You're the excited king. King of the hill. Good. Well done. GG. Back to my stuff. I should probably also get up and take a break. Oh, I'm terrible at looking at my things. Tourmaline, thanks for the follow. 20 minutes ago. Alright. What we got? This guy. He doesn't even look right, but you know, whatever. Doesn't have to. We just need to see his face so we know that he's there. Okay. Hide this so I can draw this guy a little bit on model. He's not looking like himself here. Eyes are. Yes, his eyes. He doesn't look. He doesn't look out, as they say. Alright. I'm being distracted here. That's what happens when you're on for 1.5 hours. Actually, I wonder if it is actually time for a BRB. It's important self-care measures. So I'll put this up, and well, maybe if I put the little tuber up, I can also remember to hide it for when I'm away. Alright, see you in a bit. BRB. I'm back. Thank you. Let's see, minor distractions away. Oh, he doesn't look like himself, but it's okay. He's cute. Oh. Snooze, sneezing. Alright. This guy, he has the biggest eyebrows. He's built differently. Oh, but look at him. He's a cutie. Cutie patootie. I always draw his face too big, though. Like, he doesn't have space for his forehead. Which is, by the way, a very common issue among young artists, especially artists inspired by, say, Disney stuff. Two things they tend to do. They got the whole face going on. They have big eyes and a way too wide smile. I'm not doing this description justice. Oh well. I don't have time to draw I don't have time to draw examples that nobody asked for, you know? Yeah, I try. Perhaps it's because it fascinates me. And I sometimes try to draw that way. And I can't. Is what fascinates me. I cannot make myself draw that way. Oh, is the last, the back of it has... Does it have a timeline split? I forget. This kid is breaking his neck. In Minecraft. Okay, now I notice his body is a bit small for his head. I do like the scale he has, but he should probably be more visible that way. Now, how much overlap do I want and do I not want? Ooh, it's just not enough space. But I think this way you notice him walking by. And gotta remember he's a short kid. How far away is he? He's not able to be this far away. Oh, what dilemma. It could be more balanced, but it is. If he's sort of leaning back to listen, that feels better. Yeah. Okay, that is good enough. We ink it. We ink it on the character back. Oh, I will not get this. Like, I'm really happy with the sketch here, and I know it will get lost in the inks. Oh, the bird is laying down in front of me. That is super charm. Consider me charmed. Now, I also gotta remember that Rino he does have colored iris that is outside, but I don't draw it, I only color it in. So he will always look weird until I add the iris. He will also always look weird until I add like a soft bright spot on his chin. It's very weird how much gradients count for this. Here goes. Ah, tangent. No. I'm getting quite the chances to add his tail. Quite happy with that. Will I remember that this is a spoon? Probably not. Does it matter? Probably not. Right, we have our boy. He's in the back. 10 past 10. What more do we have? Yeah, I gotta properly sketch this fella. Our buddy Keko. Keko is a fun guy. His brows are just chronically overlapping with his headband for no reason. And that's just how it is. Like, how bushy brows do you need to overpower your own headband? It's a funny stupid. Oh, but you guys have no idea how great this feels. Not only am I working on something that has been very hard to work on before, but I also get to cross this off as done once I finish. Getting to cross off stuff means progress, and progress feels good. So nice. I just like how easy it is to land on the 3/4 angle. Sometimes my hands just auto corrects anything I've drawn into that angle. Such a core part of how I draw at this point. Which, honestly, if I were to animate a rotating head, that would probably help. Though nowadays I'd probably be lazy and just model the head and use it as reference. Even possibly a traceable reference. Like, I am growing lazy. Okay, this guy, he has his hand. He's holding a bowl. Locked it with his thumb. But he's also supporting it with his hand and fingers. Because he's that good. I don't know why he seems to be going this way. But these guys already have their bows. So where is he going with this? What's his purpose? Oh, this should have a spoon. Just to make it even less efficient. I also like how they gotta have like the weirdest sizes of spoons. Because it seems to be inconsistent. They probably just have whatever. Okay, time to ink this boy. He is sure. Technically, he's a background character now. I think I'm gonna have some switching to do. This is going to be an odd one. I'm going to grab this bowl. This will be important for later when I find out that I'm gonna separate some things. Cut this from there. Transfer down there. Oh, I missed a spot. Well then. This is odd. So, Control X to cut out makes a cut in the mask. Deleting does not. So, I do a cut to copy. Could just copy. Do a cut. I undo. I delete. I paste. That doesn't seem too useful. Alright. Let's target the character back. And got a spoon. Very good spoon. Okay, we're back. We got stuff. Now I gotta remember to look up at my image to make sure that I'm not doing nitty-gritty things that won't ever be visible. I'm definitely on the oval eyes spectrum. There's something about drawing oval eyes that is more natural to do. It doesn't look more natural, because obviously it isn't. Here we go. Feel this is kind of a more. This is a cute take on or alternative to Kacker from No Good Heroes, which is a comic, just a silly old comic that a friend of mine made. Don't fall into the undo hole. Oh, I'm undoing so much. Stop the undoing. No undo. Just fingers off the keyboard. Stop. We only need to ink this. Don't need to make it perfect. I really wanna fix that part. We don't have to fix everything. It's not that important. It's just a kitty patootie and I'm enjoying it. Now these are the things we have to tell myself in order to progress. Because we live in a finished, not perfect world. There, he looks nice. You don't need all that undoing, says I. And undo. Undoes? Says he and undoes. There we go. He is... Oh! I wronged. He is there, and we are making... stew. Comic stew. I like drawing pictures where stuff happens. And I don't like ovals still. Here are some various tangents going on that I will have to be careful when I color this in, that I make sure to separate characters as well. Okay, his hand looks... It really looks like his arm is too short. Which it isn't really, but it looks like it. So we gotta... He can lift it. Oh. He can lift it. Just a bit. That too helps. Hello, Theodore. Move on. Alright, alright. I move on. This is good. Alright. We get hands, nice. We got characters. What else we got? We got more characters, so ink buddies. Now, here we got some characters. We can ink those. Alright. We don't need the character back on here. We got this guy. Our man, Brage. Let's actually do some inking. And speaking of mechanical stuff, this hook, please do not question how it's attached, how the screw is... Okay, fine, it bothered me. Bothered me enough. This is where it's attached. Good, good. Not only does this guy have one hand, his grip for eating with a spoon is also something. But he seems to enjoy himself. Seems to be doing it. Moving on. Oh wow, he's got this cute weapon with a star on it. Do you think it's a Converse? Kinda Converse branded knife? Right, I'm applying these back to my flat oval issues. No, I could just set up a ruler. Setting up a ruler is kind of boring, or a lot of work for making a single line. I think that's why I never bother most of the time. There. Why? Sometimes rulers are good for making real hard lines to work, like getting them across where you want them. And sometimes they just feel like a hassle and a time sink. So it depends. Would be easy for me, I think, to make all these bowls, but there's so many. I don't wanna. That's the simple one. There's so many weird noses going on here too. Right, this guy, he's got his scar. Wait, what way is it even going? Is it going this way? Sort of looks like it. I can't tell. No, it is going across this way. I just saw. We do have reference for that part. Cool. And another way to make characters look big is that they have small eyes. Which is nice to remember in a world where big eyes are usually considered cuter, more appealing. I keep thinking about Brother Bear, like they make those bears look cute and cuddly. And the biggest bear has the smallest eyes compared to his mass. Nope, don't. We're off the vibe again. There we go. Sometimes I guess it's not too different from handwriting, really. Anyone else have that? If they write by hand, you start with one handwriting style and it just morphs as you write into something else. I get that, and I do think it's some funny psychology going on in there, which is fascinating. But I do think I sometimes get that with the inking as well, which is not too surprising. Consistency in my handwriting, don't know her. Yeah, never heard of her. Mythical creature. Yeah, I do remember, like, well, at school where we did a lot of handwriting, lots of the girls were they would have very good handwriting. It looked pretty and very consistent. I wonder how they write today. I was wondering if the inconsistency in handwriting, especially if it's very, oh dear, especially if it's very, very fluctuating, or how to say, aesthetic fluid, style fluid. Well, if it's very changing rapidly over just a few lines or even between words, if that's like an ADD thing, ADHD stuff and such, the letters, diagnose thingies, concentration stuff mostly, but also mindfulness, state of mind things, all that jazz. Like I know very little about that diagnose. I sometimes suspect that I might be undiagnosed, but I mean, it's no big deal. I don't think it would help me in any way. But I have been seeing my handwriting going crazy sometimes, and be like, I wonder if this has something to do with what's going on in the brain chemistry of things. Of course, for inking characters, you get the additional level of perhaps feeling a need to perform. I do feel some. I usually do feel some sort of pressure to perform, and most of the time, feeling that pressure makes everything worse and makes stuff come out terribly, which is just how it is. It is natural. So at least I'm not beating myself up for it. As one shouldn't. It's like, oh no, it's coming out bad. Like, yeah, maybe you're a bit rusty. Don't worry about it. Oh. That's always what I tell myself at least. If I get a feeling that, okay, brain and hand are not cooperating, that it's that kind of day, fine. That is okay and whatever. Usually getting over that one is it's just about drawing a bunch of lines in. Best case, stop caring whether it's good or not, just get started. And it usually loosens up by itself. That's on the days where I really have to draw. Sometimes I'm like, okay, moving on to flats or something that doesn't require me to do smooth lines. Oh, we're doing Edgar. Edgar! A beautiful boy. He's a cutie. I like him. This, ideally, these squiggles is something I would do on the hatching layer instead, but I want to fill them out right away. I don't want to meddle with the layers. And so I'll have a hard time later when I gotta do stuff manually. Can you imagine manual labor in this year? It's 2006, right? We're living in the future of 2006. In about 4 to 5 years, I'm gonna be quite sad that I wasn't really feeling productive or doing much art stuff. I'm super happy this year because I have some 20-year-old drawings, some of which I've done quick redraws of, which is super fun. Oh no, I'm gonna have quite a few years actually where I'm like, oh man, look here, I was in such a rut. Art was hard. Oh look, this is the time where I was depressed. Like all that stuff. Not actually high tier depressed, but really struggling with at least. I don't want to say motivation, but yeah, in lack of a better word, that's what we get. I just worked really hard with studies. Like, I wanted to perform very well in animation when I studied. So I did work a lot, but I did also work too much. And that was a mistake. So try not to output more than what is reasonable for you. That doesn't mean don't be lazy. That doesn't mean that you should be lazy, but being too much of like a good schoolgirl, teacher's pet, or whatever. What does one learn? I overheard actually on a bus or something, maybe on the tram. There, some girls were discussing the feeling of self-worth determined by how well they did at school. And that sounds very dangerous. I wonder if I mentioned it before actually, but there was this girl in a group, and she was trying to tell about this issue she had about taking lower grades in a healthy manner. But her friends didn't let her actually speak out because they kept interrupting her and being like, oh, but that's stupid. This girl was very much aware that that she had a problem, and it seemed to me that she just wanted to talk about it. And her group did not understand. Kind of felt bad for her. I hope she gets out of it. Not the group, but being overly demanding upon oneself can be really destructive. I always want to be super efficient, but the more I think about intending to be super efficient, the less efficient I am. And so it's best not to think about it. Is this? Oh wow. Yes, little buttons. Goodness. Do I bother? Sure do. Seems like the best tips about just performing at all is just keep on trucking. You will have bad days. Keep doing things. You don't have to do much every day, but keep on trucking. Oh, I'm going to draw my girl. My girl. Rosetta. Oh, I've been inking this and not paying attention to how it's looking. I think it's good. Now my dream here. This is going to be printed in quite a small format. Small as in there are details here that will get lost. And I would love to, like, once all the books are out and the story is done, I would love to have published like a big one. Oh, look at her. But at least we're reminded that Rosetta exists and that she's fabulous. At this point, we have a yapping emote. What if I made a quiet emote? It's not important. No, I don't want that tangent. It's been another hour. Here we go. I should probably draw a proper reference of Rosetta in her cooking attire. Oh, I don't like this. Where? Remove. She has these ribbons, little bows. Like, why she bothers to cook in a corset is beyond me. There. I'm not happy with her proportion, but that's fine. She's doing the work. Maybe I can have the other character in the back, like so. That is Bang It. Where is he? Here he is. He looks interested in having food. Remind me if I forget. Don't let me forget to add whiskers. I do those on a separate layer. Sometimes I've done them on like the effect layer, but it is always better to do them on a different layer because effects layer sometimes are supposed to have different colors, and separating which is which is sometimes tiresome. Do you notice it's the setup of making base folders and everything? Oh, what a hassle. It's not that much work really. It's just, oh no, more work. I will have to push a button. Alright, it's button to make layer, button to make it monochrome, button to give it a separate color unique to itself. And a bunch of other things. Like so, okay. What we got? I'm just cleaning up some here. This kind of cleanup is also nice to do. Not for super particular reasons. I don't know why I'm doing it that way instead of allowing the panel inks to be on top. I think it's just that the panel inks take up a bit much space. Now for the BG. Hide this, hide that. Hide this. Hide that. Could even do it this way. kind of better. There. Now what we also got, no stragglers behind. Can do some hatching or tree texturing, some shading. Just to make it a bit noisy. You can see here how otherwise having just the planks will look very plain. If you add some noise, summer looks a bit more lively. Now what I don't know is, do I have like, I do have background stuff planned. Whoa, I forgot. Let's see. Okay, let's get some background going. I don't know what I'm looking at, and it is hidden by mostly speech, so I will half-ass it and curse myself whenever I get there. Let's see, we are... Yes, I want to refer the selected layers. We also want to apply to connected pixels only. There we go. Easy. Like, I forgot how this is supposed to work. There. Here we go. What are these blanks? I don't know. What does it look like? Tables. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be tables. Is it? Do I have a layer that says bordplacering? Table seats. Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, she is where I assumed she was. And I can confirm that by checking in on the next page. Yeah, where she is all the way over here. Yep. So there is no table behind. Meaning we only do the horizontal vertical. Oh, it's hard. And it's a tangent. We move like this. Very good. If I unhide that for a while, I can do a selection there. Hide that guy. Like so, and then I can just boop the lines, make them happen. Yay. This could also be purely on the hatching layer, because the planks are not going to be in any different color, except for the middle ones, like the support. Alas. This is how we make it now. Now I do want some hatching. And I should probably just... Oh, okay, that's complicated. If I hide it this way... And then color in like so. Yeah, that works. And I can do some hatching. Now, to double check, no residual stuff. So I felt in my old inks, the old comic book, or the previous book, they kind of lacked this amount of detailing. I think some of it I added in the shading as kind of detailing, but I do sort of follow the idea that ideally inks should look good enough by themselves, like on their own. You shouldn't have to fix stuff in post, is what I try to live by, and it is mostly true, and it is mostly possible to follow. Not always. Sometimes I grow impatient or lazy. And sometimes I get way too deep into doing this nitty-gritty small detailing stuff to make some noise, where it's also unnecessary sometimes. So it's a happy mix of both. Also on the way behind where no one will see. It depends where the fun is, really. There you go. That's a panel. Panel of characters. And we're still not done. We're not done yet, fellas. Because we got more sketches. There's a table in the back, which has, don't know any of the green characters, but we have some back characters here. And the need for some background assets. We have a table, we have parts of the room. So we're moving over to BG again. Oh, looks like I placed more hooks for people to hang stuff. Now, it's so rough to not be carried away. I don't know why I have this need to draw out every part. Now I think this is a bench. I think maybe this is to understand the, say, the set better. It's a movie set, comic set. Now also, where are we? Just there. Characters we are seeing are Raz, or I haven't put names on them. Oh, no. Rosie, Banked. I think that's Banked. And whoever's sitting, Lugin. Okay, this is Lugin. We got him, boys. Or is it Lugin, or... Can't see. It's a crazy thing where I have too many characters and suddenly I have too many chairs too. But these guys were like double the crew. And then totally hand waved that they lost half of them for just stealing a map for a petty little treasure hunt. So this is very much a children's story where we do not think too hard about those things. Who is beside Lugin? I don't know. Generic rat we do not know? Or is it Razi? What do we have on the next page? There's Razi. Lugin. Maybe Razi was sitting here before he moved over to stand. Seems about right. Yeah, we do it that way. We do it like that. So, what we got? Fine skis. Fine skis 2. Surely. Okay. We do that. Fine skis extra is what they call it. So they are sitting down. Jazzy, Logan, and Rosetta. Alright, we know. We are here. How is things? Stream is healthy. Good. What's Logan look like? A rat? No way. Razi is funny because he has no huge traits, but he's got floppy ears and a sort of big nose. Just slightly. Not super big. I'm probably giving these guys way more character than what's reasonable. Okay, here he doesn't look like himself, he looks like a goofy creature. Oh, he's got baggy pants. This guy's gonna watch their tails. Like, all the time. I like this guy. Checking in to see, and it looks great. Thank you. Glad to hear it. Yeah, we're almost done now. We're sketching up the remaining background characters. I got some coats or something to hang on the hooks over here on the wall, and some arbitrary rope to put up. Maybe some barrels, whatever. But it's not much left now. We're doing great. Like, these characters will be barely visible, but they will be there and recognizable. In the first book, I had just arbitrarily drawn a bunch of rats. and I didn't have any way to manage them. So I really did not know who was who and how many were they even. Now I think there are like 20 rats. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, back at you. Who's a good princess boy? You're a good princess boy. Oops. Oh no, I'm teaching him to make noise. This is bad. Alright, no more. You wanna fight? Yeah, let's fight. He's fighting me. He's winning. We're having a little intermission. Honks and tappies. If you hear the tapping, that is a bird on the slippery surface. Yeah, I'm so distracted right now. And I will probably die. Or my skin will. My hand will die from pigeon. Yes, bird. You. You. You're the king of the hill. I get it. Please don't dust into my matcha. back to the regular programming, as they call it. Right here it looks a bit lankier than it should be, also too near. But he's in the background, yo. It doesn't matter. He is okay. He's gotta be lower than his side buddy. Lower, smaller, not as tall as his buddy. Okay. You probably don't need much more than that. And so we have Char back. Uh-oh. We need another one. Char Backer. There we go. Make it even lighter. Delete. And temping. Target Char Backer. Here we go. Oh, I'll move up and see what I'm doing. Can't really see, honestly. Oh, because the inks are... I see. And he's also got sort of smooth head, like he doesn't have these tufts as most others. He's a smooth brain. I wonder if I just made like a character base. I could probably make the design process a bit simpler if I just made lots of goofy characters, but without them having to be... Oh dear. I didn't know I had not yet applied the background. Let's see. Let's fix that. There. Part of the background. Good. There. There we go. I was saying, yes. Some people really enjoy making characters. I can enjoy making a character like on a whim. But usually I end up creating something a bit out of what's necessary. Just, oh, I need a character. Yes, I'm making one now, but if I have too many of those characters, I am going to get tired. Because I start taking those characters very seriously. It's a struggle. Let's see. I may not be streaming for too long further. All right. Yes, I'm not going to go on for much longer. Get some other stuff to do. Nay. Well, can't blame the bird for at least being considerate and not pooping on my desk. Now, we like that part. We also gotta... Here's Lugan. I wonder if those two are related. But, not all rats are related just because they are rats. Okay, I think that's good. Now we want this one to have certain visibility. And we want this one to have certain visibility. Oh dear. Okay, this one is a bit more complicated. Bit more manual. Okay, for this one we cannot be referring to the active layer. Is this part necessary? Don't know. So now it is mostly masked. If needed at all. Oh, here's one. This here is purely cosmetic masking at this point. Might come up, probably won't. And it might get useful for some selections at some point. But only maybe. So it's not exactly worth doing, but we'll see. I do like the ability to mask stuff though. It is very good. Okay, now there is some more. This is a good time to do whiskers. I'm gonna go through and just add whiskers. Oh, I also need whiskers as a layer. So we got this back guy, Razzie. You got Ragetti, Morris, Semel, Hinshu, Ryshinsky. I don't know. Scott, Captain Conrad, Benny, Fadil. He's lacking some of his whiskery, pory things. What do you even call those? Bookie. It's not gonna be visible anyway. Banked. And Edgar. Brage. That's it. Whiskers is like the #1 thing I'm going to forget drawing. I will have to make a checklist. And now, for first off, some extra backgroundy stuff. Just for slight detailing. And then onto some texturing. Which part? See, this is the problem. I forgot where I had the. Where was it that I wanted to detail something that I shouldn't be detailing? I forgot. Oh. Well, this table here kind of needs some love. This is another case where I don't want the stabilization to be adjusted by speed. Oh right, I forgot. I need stuff on the hooks. What's this rope I intended on adding? I do like this sort of detailing where you can sort of feel stuff coming a bit more together. However, one should be careful. It is easy to overdo. Oh, and this part of the background is just not doing much. Let's see if we can fix that. How's the layout? It says... Wood direction there-ish. These are like the least important parts of the planks and everything. Shouldn't be that hard. I think it's lacking a lamp. Oops. Okay. There was this rope. What layer do you want it? I can use the char backer for it. I wonder. Temp ink. Do I have... I do have a things. I do have a ropes brush. Do I have a ropes brush with color? Those tend to be simpler. Why do I not have... I'm quite sure that I have had a proper rope brush before. I have this though. This can probably do the job. I mean, we're not going to see what this is anyway. Can't remember what I used. And so we have, first off, we do that. We correct the line width to be, whoops. Let's see. Narrow. Need to be crazy. Alright, we got a rope. Whoopee! We got a rope. Still worrying about stuff about talent. It's not exactly a lack of talent I'm thinking of, but if anyone's familiar with Stefan Zweig, or however you say that, I mean, apologies to him if I say the name wrong, but I am impressed by the power of cheating in his drawings. He's like a super skilled, efficient artist, very good at taking shortcuts and getting away with it. Using brushes with lasers and stuff. It's fascinating to see. And it's really cool. It's good work. Right, there's just a coil of rope. Nobody asked for, nobody cares about, but it is there if anyone needs it. That sounds a tad more grim than I intended. Okay, we got some rope. Good. What else? I feel I always pause. You could even call it a flinch when I have to think about something new to sketch up. Like over here. What is here? Is it a coat? Hanging textile of something? I feel like I should be drawing something proper. But like what even is it? What would it be? A hat? Nobody here almost. Nobody here wears a hat except this guy. And there's even less people here who would wear a hat and take it off for mealtime. So what gives? Like, I don't know. This is just stuff. Well, I'll probably finish this off stream. So I'm gonna leave. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. I think we've done quite good. It's been a good morning. Wish you all a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.